Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. Not just for this video, but in fact, this entire week. Yes, we do have another completely booked week of videos. And I think you guys already know, whenever you see me posting a video each and every single day of the week, you generally know that I must have gotten a major haul in, and that is exactly what happened. Now, over the last few days, I probably spent a few $100s purchasing WWF the magazine. So I do have a bundle that I have already on hand, but I am going to wait for the rest of those magazines to come in the mail. I'm really expecting them by Monday, but to be honest, I'm probably going to wait till Thursday to film that magazine review video for you guys. And there's a little bit extra input that I have in regards to why I haven't made any magazine reviews, or why I haven't really been collecting them. And it's not depressing. It's just I was kind of spurned away from doing so, and I'll explain further when I make that video for you guys. So again, that's probably going to be Thursday's review video type of deal. So we're also going to look at a bunch of bootleg figures, new thumb wrestler figures, new mannix figures that I got in, pretty much carded figures that I was missing, some variants. We also got some of the 10-inch and 12-inch bootleg plastic figures. Now, you know that LJN came out with their 16-inch figures. You know that WCW Galoob came out with their 14-inch figures. And then Hasbro had like their Talking Hogan and Warrior, which were kind of like, I think 10-inch figures, if I'm not mistaken. Well, if you kind of look at the Series 1 Hasbro Ultimate Warrior, one of the knockoffs we're going to look at is pretty much a solid continuation of that figure. I've tried to do some research on them, and I can't determine whether or not they're actually Hasbro made figures or if they're knockoff. I think I read somewhere way back when that there were some kind of KO Mexican figures, and I'm thinking that's what these are. So the Warrior is about 12 inches. The Hogan is actually a little bit smaller, and I was actually disappointed to find that out. But he's still a good 10 inches or so. So some solid. Actually, I'm probably going to include those two KO figures with the LJNs and the WCW figures, and kind of have like this video where we look at all of the big bulky figures. On top of that, we did get some more of the bone crunching figures in. I know, like I said, guys, I got a problem with that. I also acquired a Stomp figure. I know Bone Breaking Action was telling me about that as well. You know, being one of the more horrendous figures. And the one I got in is kind of questionable. Like, it looks like Undertaker, but I think the card says Triple H or something. I don't know. When we review that figure, you'll see what I mean. And I had a couple Red Card SummerSlam figures, and I got another one in as well. So we could probably do a review of a few of those figures. Again, with these particular lines, I am not going to collect the entire thing. I already know that for sure. The figures are not good. The Survivor Series, I like the card backs. I like the way that the figures display on card, but it's not anything that's, you know, that really makes me super excited or anything like that. So they're just something to kind of go over, give you guys a different idea of some of the figures that are out there. One of the biggest things I've been waiting for is from the Asylum store, the Remco-style figures that we ordered about 6 months ago. They finally came in a couple days ago. That's probably going to be released. I can't do it on Monday because Monday is Real Chat video, and I can't do it on Friday because that's the tournament. I might have to wait till Saturday to show off those figures. This Wednesday, I'm still going to do a follow-up to a previous review video. So last Wednesday, I kind of mentioned that I wanted to do a quick pickup video, show off some of the new things that we got in, and then kind of follow up with the two figures as the main review, but the video ran too long, so that didn't happen. I already made that video. It is in queue, and it will be posted on Wednesday, and that's, again, a continuation of your Remco-style figures from Ringside Collectibles exclusive line. Today is another one that I was super crazy excited about. From the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, we did get Series 4 in. I didn't really give them like a full-on review or anything like that. Like I said, when I get these figures in, I like to sit down and kind of look them over for the first time with you guys. That way, you know, my expression, my responses, my feelings, it's all genuine. And I'm not just makeshifting, you know, what I want to say or what have you. So doing a quick glance over, I don't know. I think I'm really disappointed in the series. And if I do end up being really disappointed overall, it's going to suck because that means back-to-back series were terrible. You know, Series 1 with Brian Myers and Matt Cardona with the hands up like Macho Man. It's like the Macho Man Series 3 LJN figure. They still looked aesthetically, they were great, and it's still a decent enough playable figures and whatnot, so it has what I'm looking for. So I was definitely okay with the Series 1 figures. The Series 2 figures were just absolutely out of this world. Demolition, I don't think anybody could have ever done better. They were absolutely phenomenal. Probably a couple of the best LJN figures I've ever seen. Series 3 is where the disappointment came. I thought they did a phenomenal Marty Jannetty, but I was kind of disappointed that they gave him like this Galoob Tom Zenk fighting pose. I didn't like the Sergeant Slaughter. I thought that was a horrible version. I mean, I still give it points, you know, based on colors or based on like the little salute pose and all that, but it had its features that I like, but overall I wasn't impressed. Ric Flair, if you take it for what it is, I think it was a fantastic figure. If you're looking at it as a playable wrestling action figure, no, it's not going to be the most pristine figure. I mean, are you really looking at like a Mr. Fuji or an Elizabeth LJN as playable figures? Mr. Fuji, sure, but if you just take them for what they are, Freddie Blassie, Bobby Heenan, they're managers, and you kind of look at Ric Flair the same way, right? Not necessarily a manager, but kind of like an executive type or just someone casually sitting in his home doing a podcast. So I still think that, you know, Major Wrestling Figure Podcast really came out well with their Ric Flair. Series 4, I think even more so than Demolition, is probably the series I was most excited about. And we are going to start off with Macho Man. Because there's already a Macho Man figure in the original LJN line, I don't know if I was really excited about getting this, but based on the graphics, I was hoping that it was actually going to be a much better figure than what we got from LJN. And again, what I really like, you know what, they actually give you the Series 1, 2, 3, and 4. They only show you one Andre, not the variant, but we'll get to that. Because these are easy slipcover figures, we're going to simply remove the bubble. We will actually do a more extensive review of Macho Man. Hopefully he slides it. Gotta kind of push it in. That sucks. That's alright. Alright. First glance. Do I hate it? Absolutely not. Do I love it? I don't think so. So, kind of going off first glance and looking at up close and personal, the details of the body and the abs and the rib cage, I think this is spot on. I mean, literally a 3D printed figure of the actual body of Macho Man, which is fantastic. I love that, you know, Macho Man in trunks, and they stick with the Hasbro Series 1 Macho Man with orange trunks and stars. That is so phenomenal. You kind of move away from the pink or purple version of Macho Man from LJN, make this figure more unique. So, he is an extra thin figure. Like the bulkiness, he's so super skinny. I got small hands, you know, and so when my hand reaches around a figure and my fingers actually touch, you know it's a super tiny figure. I mean, I could probably wrap around most figures. Probably not like One Man Gang or Bam Bam or something, but... So, super thin, I'm not a fan of that. Highlights. Aesthetically, this is a phenomenal statue. Fantastic. Display is great, right? The arm out. So when you think of Macho Man, LJN with the hands like that, they're up, they're in too tight. I do not like that pose. I think Macho Man is a mid-tier figure from LJN based on that fighting pose. If his arm positioning was much better, yeah, he would rate much higher on my list, especially being a fan favorite. With the arm out here, you do have a much more playable wrestling action figure, perfect for clotheslines and punches. I've never been a fan of the one finger up. Jim Duggan, okay, Vince McMahon, Jim Brunzell. You got all these figures that have like one, either a pointer finger up or a thumb up. I hate that. It is so annoying. Give him a closed fist, a little bit better. I mean, I still think that you could do a really solid body slam with this figure, so I'm definitely okay with it overall. And as far as playability or functionality of this figure, I rate it much higher than the LJN original, but I still like the original LJN because it's a much thicker figure. But feel this rubber. I mean, this rubber is phenomenal. This is some of the best rubber that you'll get from any figures. Crazy about this one. Is it a 10 out of 10? No, but it's still a very highly valuable figure in my eyes. 8 out of 10, 8.5, I don't know. It's still a high quality figure. I love it. I'm not in love with it, but I still think that it's, a must-have. So I'm going to move on to blue strap variant Andre the Giant. So this is Andre on card. On the back, all you see is black strap. So because blue strap and black strap are identical figures, I'm not gonna, take them both out. We're just gonna look at the black card, or the black strap figure. Again, I haven't done a full review on these or anything. I just kind of glanced over them when they came in the mail, and one of the first things that kind of blew my mind was the head of Andre the Giant. The way that the head was positioned, the way that it kind of sticks out like this, like his body, it's not head, like forward like so, right? His head is kind of like pushed forward. I can't do it. Imagine your face is out here and your shoulders are still back, right? It's sad because this actually is not a bad figure. This is actually fantastic. When I first saw it in the bubble, I thought it was horrendous. I was not a fan. But you take it out of the package and you give it a more thorough examination, and it's not as bad as I was thinking. The head actually, out of package, giving it a little bit more closely, I would still take the LJN version. Either you look at Series 1, 2, 6. I still like that head sculpt better. To me, this head sculpt kind of looks fake, if that makes sense. The height is good. I still love, like I said, the original Andre from LJN is one of my all-time favorite figures. And part of that has to do with the fact that he's got the bended knees that makes it a beautiful figure to be body slammed, right? And the arm positioning, the way the hands are out, kind of like the Hulk Hogan, the Kamala figures. Bended knees, arms positioning the right way, perfect body slam pose. This, I think, is just an upsized or upscaled version of the Hasbro Series 1 Andre. If you actually look at the hands, I mean, that's pretty much exactly what the Hasbro figure looks like. I didn't know I was getting a 2-up of Hasbro. I just thought I was getting a new LJN-Style Andre the Giant. Great bulkiness to the figure. I really wish that these figures would be a little bit darker. Skin complexion be a little bit darker. I wouldn't say this was rushed or anything. One of the other things I've noticed on this, when you actually touch the singlet, it's not just painted on. You can actually feel the singlet on his body. So that is a huge upgrade when you compare that to like the Series 6 Andre from LJN. So that is actually pretty spectacular. I don't know. I'm so used to looking at Blackstrap LJN Andre, right? And seeing that grand toy stencil on the bottom. I would have liked if like Major Wrestling Podcast kind of did like their own thing and put like a little stencil on the foot or whatnot. I think that would be pretty spectacular. My thought is, originally I was going to say this one sucks. Luckily, easy opening packaging allowed me to take it out of the package and not have to ruin the carton bubble. And now my opinion is that this is actually a pretty phenomenal figure. Head, I don't think the head is the most, is not the best use. I think they could have done better. The little claws, I'm not crazy about it. You know, claws, fists, you know, you're still doing the same thing with this. I'm okay with that. Do I like the bended knees? Yes, but by legs being extended, you get a much taller figure. And what did I do with Macho Man? Just kind of put these guys toe to toe. So heel to heel. I mean, I've actually got Macho Man sitting a little bit higher than Andre, and he's still like way less. Again, I'm not going to take the blue strap out of the card, but this is your Series 4 from Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, Big Rubber Guys, and I was wrong. I thought that this was going to be 2 really bad figures, or 3 if you count the variant, and just kind of looking at them outside package, I actually like them a lot more than I originally thought. So, you know, it just shows me that it's certain things. I've said it before. I said it with the Mattel Superstars. In package, I thought they were going to become like my 3rd all-time favorite wrestling line. And then I got some and I started opening the packages, or I got some loose. And I'm like, yeah, these are good, but they're not great. And suddenly, you know, not even a question whether or not I like those 3rd or not. I think they have fallen so farther down my list, right? Jack's Classic Superstars is another perfect example. I love them inside the package. I can't stand those figures loose. With all of the twisting ankles and knees, no, not for me. In package, I was meh. They're good, just not great. Out of package, get up close and personal. If you get an opportunity, yes, definitely buy them. Problem is, guys, I don't know if these are still being sold on the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast website. If it is, definitely go there as your first option. And if they're sold out, you might have no choice but to go through eBay or Mercari. On eBay, I see these things selling for already up to $100 and some dollars. Like starting bid, or it's up for like a few hours and the bid's like $100+. Some people have them listed for like $150. Others have it listed for $200. For the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, you buy these for $50 a piece, and people are selling them at $150 to $200 each. So, man, I wish I had the money that I could sit there and bankroll the acquisition of all these figures. Buy like 10 sets of everything, keep one for myself, and just bankroll and sell the others for like $200-$300 a piece. Shoot. You know, luckily, Major Wrestling Figures, they haven't changed anything yet. But like, when you look at Hasbro toys, grapplers, and gimmicks, so you would be able to get figures for $40, right? 2 packs, maybe $75. But then you start seeing them on eBay, and everybody's bidding them up or selling them for $200 and whatnot. So now when you start going on the Grapplers and Gimmicks website, and you want to buy those figures that once cost $40, you're now paying $60. You want that 2-pack for $75, you're now paying $100. So Grapplers and Gimmicks, they're seeing what they're selling on eBay, and they're adjusting their prices so it costs more. So now you're not actually saving money by going through the website. So I hate that Hasbro toys are screwing people over. you know, make your prices fair for everyone. Forget about eBay. If you want to get more buyers, market yourself a little bit better. I'm not hating on Hasbro Toys. I understand that they're a business and they got to earn some profit, but in fact, Hasbro Toys, at least among their figures, are one of my favorite lines. So definitely no shade to the company. I just think that's one area of improvement. All right, so guys, that is the review of the new Series 4 Big Rubber Guys. Crazy excited to got those figures in. I'm going to stay down here. I'm going to probably make another video or two. I still got to post or make a video for this Monday's Real Chat video. And I'm probably going to do the Tuesday video. I forgot what I said Tuesday was going to be. But whatever that video is that I make next, probably the Asylum video. I'll probably make that one next and have that one in queue. Alright guys, that is it for now. As always, thank you so much for watching. And talk to you guys in the comments and see you in the next video as usual. Goodbye everybody.